In a world that rewards certainty, the wise man chooses to question. He isn't seduced by confident voices, flashy opinions, or popular crowds. He does something far more dangerous. He thinks. He questions. He doubts not because he is weak, but because he seeks something stronger than certainty. Truth. This is the forgotten virtue of skepticism. What is skepticism, really? Skepticism is not about disbelief. It is not rejection. It is not arrogance. Skepticism is the discipline of holding back judgment until the dust settles. It is the inner strength to pause. To say, I don't know, but I will find out. To resist the impulse to agree just because others do. To step back from emotions and ego and look at a situation with clear, sharpened eyes. Skepticism is the mind's armor. It's the ability to say, just because someone says it, doesn't make it true. Just because I feel it, doesn't make it right. Just because I believe it, doesn't make it reality. And that makes it one of the most powerful tools a man can develop. The Stoics were not gullible. They didn't follow the crowd. They didn't bow to the trends of the time. They didn't chase opinions or praise. Instead, they practiced what we might call skeptical wisdom. Marcus Aurelius constantly challenged his own thoughts. Epictetus questioned everything, even the authority of others. Seneca warned against adopting the mob's mentality. To them, skepticism wasn't rebellion, it was responsibility. A man who doesn't question is easily manipulated. But the man who asks why, the man who pauses, investigates, and reflects, that man becomes free. We live in a world drowning in information. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone has an agenda. Everyone wants to convince you of something. Your emotions are being manipulated. Your beliefs are being exploited. Your attention is the new battlefield. And in all of this noise, only one kind of man will survive. The skeptic. The one who doesn't rush. The one who filters. The one who says, hold on, is that really true? Because today, the danger is not just in ignorance. The real danger is in false knowledge. What you think you know might be the very thing holding you back. True skepticism begins with the self. The most dangerous lies are not the ones told by others. They are the ones you tell yourself. I already know this. I'm not capable. This is just the way I am. They're against me. I don't need to change. These are not facts. These are not truths. These are stories your mind repeats because it's afraid of growth. Skepticism, real skepticism, begins by turning the blade inward. Is this thought helping me or hurting me? Is this belief true or just comfortable? Am I acting from wisdom or from habit? You see, the ego hates to be questioned. But the soul? The soul is only set free when it is. Let's be clear. Cynicism is not the same as skepticism. A cynic rejects everything. He sees the world as broken. He trusts no one, believes in nothing, and ultimately isolates himself from truth. A skeptic, on the other hand, is humble, open-minded, cautious. He knows truth exists, but he also knows that it must be earned, not assumed. Cynicism is bitterness. Skepticism is bravery. Cynicism is a closed door. Skepticism is a clean lens. So ask yourself, when I doubt, is it to avoid, or to understand? Socrates, perhaps the wisest man who ever lived, once said, I know that I know nothing. He wasn't being humble for show. He was revealing a truth we often ignore. The more you think you know, the less room you leave to grow. The Stoics were not know-it-alls. They were students of life, always observing, always adjusting, always questioning. Because life is in motion. Circumstances change. And what worked yesterday may not work today. So the wise man adapts. He doubts. He tests. He refines. That is how he grows. How do you become a skeptic without becoming bitter? By turning it into a daily practice. Just like the Stoics journaled each morning and night, so too should you ask, what am I blindly accepting? What have I not questioned in a long time? Is this belief still serving me? Am I thinking for myself or letting others think for me? You don't need to doubt everything forever. You just need to pause before you commit to a thought, belief, or reaction. That moment of pause? That's where your power lives. You don't need to rush to an opinion. You don't need to answer everything right away. You don't need to pick a side just to belong. A wise man holds space for uncertainty. He knows that certainty often belongs to the ignorant. And doubt, the healthy kind, belongs to the deep thinkers. So when you're unsure, say so. When you don't know, admit it. When something feels wrong, investigate it. That's not weakness. That's leadership of the highest kind. People will lie to you. Advertisers will manipulate you. Politicians will promise you. Friends may mislead you. Even family can fail you. That doesn't mean you walk through life in fear. It means you walk through life awake. With your eyes open. Your mind clear. Your soul protected. Skepticism is not paranoia. It's preparation. Can you doubt your own doubts? Here's where true mastery begins. When you can doubt your own doubts. Not all hesitation is wisdom. Not all skepticism is clarity. Sometimes, what we call skepticism is really fear in disguise. So ask yourself, am I doubting because this idea is flawed or because it challenges my comfort? Or am I resisting truth or protecting my ego? The final test of the skeptic is humility, because even your most cherished doubts might be wrong. And that's okay, because you're not here to be perfect. You're here to be honest. So think, question, pause before you speak, doubt before you decide. And remember, the fool is certain. The crowd is loud. But the wise man? He is quiet. He is still. He is skeptical. And in that silence, he finds the truth. He who knows only his side of the case, knows little of that. John Stuart Mill. If this video made you pause, if it challenged you to think more deeply, if it gave you something you weren't looking for, then share it. Like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Because in a world full of blind certainty, we choose clarity over comfort, wisdom over noise, and the quiet courage of skepticism over the arrogance of ignorance.